Today, on Unboxing Old Stuff, we're going to unbox the Super Nintendo. Hello, and welcome back to the Geek Cabal channel. My name is Jim, and today, on this 8th episode of Unboxing, we are going to unbox a Super Nintendo. Now, normally in the beginning here, I would have a kind of a blurb on maybe some of the stats and different things like that, but the Super Nintendo is pretty well known. I'd be kind of reiterating what a lot of other YouTube channels have done. So, kind of going to stick to really just some, maybe one factoid, which is currently a complete in-the-box Super Nintendo is roughly between $300 and $400, according to the video game pricing chart. So, and this is a complete example, and probably more complete than any of my other stuff I've unboxed so far. So, this one's gonna be kind of neat. Now, this is one of the probably the most basic Super Nintendo box that you can get, which is just called the control set. It is just the console and a single controller, the AV, the audio video adapter, and a power plug or power cord. But we'll just take a look at here. Now, if you saw the Super Scope video, you'll see that the styling of this is pretty much on par with what the Super Scope looked like. But nothing really, nothing too much in the front, just a little bit of a blurb right here. And we'll get some close-ups of all of this so that you can kind of see what's on there. But I kind of liked how Super Nintendo's, or how the Super Nintendo era kind of did this, where very standardized packaging on different things. Now on the back here, you've got your regular blurbs. Some of the games that they have featured is Kirby's Dream Course, Super Metroid, Donkey Kong Country, Stunt FX Racing, King Griffey Jr. Baseball, Wario Woods, and Super Punch-Out. And Dr. Mario down there at the bottom. And I'll get a close-up of all of these screenshots here as well. But I like this because it does show you actual game footage. It doesn't just show you a pretty picture, the cover art or something like that. So you actually had an idea of what the games look like. And for the fact that this features on the box my favorite game of all time, which is Super Metroid. So I am, definitely a fan of this. But just reading the blurbs on the front, the system of choice for the serious game player, dazzling 3D effects, digital stereo sound, high-tech controller, great library of hot titles, exclusive, state-of-the-art accessories. And if state-of-the-art accessories includes a Super Scope, I don't know about that. But one neat thing on the back here, and I will get a close-up of this, is that there is a sticker for proof of purchase on there. So, don't always get to see those, but yeah, that's the sticker right here. So, kind of hard to do this when you're looking at the camera, but anyways, as far as the condition of the box, pretty typical. Like most of the boxes that I have, it's just got damages around kind of the corners there, a little bit of flaring on the edge here. But most of you don't probably care too much about what the outside of the box looks like. You want to see what the inside of the box looks like. So, go ahead and get this thing opened. And try not to get too much styrofoam noise into the microphone here. So, this is just a cardboard sleeve that goes around the styrofoam container like most of the Super Nintendo stuff. But, at least mine did not come with any sort of cover on top here, but everything's still in the bag in here. Now, this has been out at some point because everything has been moved out. But we'll just kind of start with each of them in the bags here. So, the first one I have here is for the manuals and other documentation. So, very first thing we have is the Super Nintendo instruction manual. The one that I was pumped to be able to find, which was the poster that you could put up in your room, where it has just again some more snippets of games and different things like that. And again, I'll get a close-up of this. And then on the back, an advertisement for Nintendo Power. And I apologize for the camera fading in and out. Sometimes the lighting, it's a little weird, like how it does that. But again, you'll get a little closer up view of all this stuff. And just like my Nintendo my Nintendo unboxing, the NES unboxing, it's got the same actual advertisement for Nintendo Power in it. So pretty neat. And then this is the consumer information pamphlet. So this is the boring stuff that they have to include, such as stuff for the FCC warnings, hardware precautions, maintenance, stuff like that. The stuff they have to include. Okay. So, and I'm not going to unbag all of these because they're not really interesting to look at, but we've got the power adapter. Now, we'll go ahead. Well, this is the audio video cable. And then the single controller. Now this controller was a huge improvement over the original Nintendo controller with just the 2 buttons and the start and select. Being able to have 4 face buttons, shoulder buttons, made it great for gaming, like fighting games such as Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, stuff like that. This was actually probably, right out of the box, was a better way of playing those games until Sega was able to release their 6-button controller, which was to compete with the Super Nintendo's already 6-button controller, pretty much. So, and last but not least is the Super Nintendo itself, which again still has its original bag. And not much to say about this. I mean, it's in pretty decent shape, just a little discolored a little bit. Maybe a little dusty, a little whatever, but overall in pretty good shape. But just so you can see what the styrofoam looks like, so you can see the container there. So you've got where the console goes there, the power adapter goes here, the AV cable goes here, and then there's a spot here for all the cables to kind of tuck into, and then a spot down there for the controller. Okay. Now, before I go and show you the up close, I did have just an extra thing just because I had it with this box, and that is the Super Nintendo cleaning kit. Now, I have one of these actually for my NES as well, and I didn't have it included when I did that unboxing, but this is just kind of neat to have too. But again, same kind of branding as the Super Nintendo's box. And kind of neat about this is also still got the original packaging for it, so I will get this out so you can kind of see it and then see it up in the close-up. But here you can see it looks like a Super Nintendo cartridge, and the idea is that you can put this in to your console and clean the pins out on your console. Because the Super Nintendo, pretty much any cartridge-based system had kind of the same flaw to them, and that is that dust and contaminants can get into the pins and make the games either unplayable or prone to glitches and not functioning properly. So, and then there is a manual to explain how to actually use the cleaner. As far as the box on this goes, the only kind of neat thing on here, and I'll get a close-up of this as well, is the fact that it's got just a diagram of actually how to do the cleaning, again, right on the box, so that you don't actually have to break out the manual for that. So, anyways, so now we're going to get our close-up, and then we'll meet you back here after we get that done. hope you got a good close look at all of this here, and got to see what it kind of looked like when you actually bought a Super Nintendo new, and to see what it looked like when it was all packaged up. But anyways, that is all that I have. If you did like what you saw here and you want to see more of this, definitely let us know by liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all that stuff. We are right at the cusp of 300 subscribers, so we're just need that little bit of edge to get over there. So anything you can do to help us out would be greatly appreciated. But anyways, that's all that I have, and we'll see you on the next unboxing.